Hey everybody, it's 6:26 a.m. Today's the 15th of March 2018. It is a Thursday, and as always, we are northbound to the shop. So, yesterday we had a pretty good day as far as shooting goes. You know, it was completely lost on me that yesterday was this school walkout organized by the Women's March people and Louis Farrakhan, which nobody really wants to talk about. But yesterday, the Women's March people and Louis Farrakhan dangled a carrot in front of a bunch of millions of idiotic teenagers in high school who walked out of school not in solidarity with the gun control cause, but because somebody absolved them of their sins of walking out of school. And I find that pretty funny that pretty much while that was going on, we expended about 1,400 rounds of ammo yesterday. So, two opposite ends of the spectrum, I guess. This is our after-action report. Lessons learned. Usually, they're the same lessons you learn over and over and over again. The first thing is the Murphy factor is real. He will mess with your stuff, and things will break. So, if you have an AR-15, but you do not know how to completely disassemble it, I would recommend that you, in your ample free time, hop on YouTube and watch a few videos of how to completely disassemble an AR. Or if you have a friend who's very knowledgeable about these things, even more so, I would recommend you go hang out with that buddy, bring him a 6-pack of beer and say, hey, I need your help. I want to know how to take this thing all the way down to the nuts and bolts and put it back together again. And it's not that hard. If my giant retarded rear end can do it, so can you. But it will break. Things will fail. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. For example, we had one round in my buddy's AR. The extractor would not grab it, period. Could not shuck the round. And so he ended up with a stuck case in the chamber. You know, the round was fired, stuck case. So he's trying to pile drive it in the whole nine, and he had a rod, but it was not a complete rod. Well, I just happened to carry a complete set of rods in my rucksack, which just happens to be on the back seat of this truck right now, forever and always. Amen. So luckily I was able to go get that, and he popped the casing out. You know, we had multiple failures, which is good because it makes the training super authentic. At one point, you know, we were walking a lane and he was going to cover the left side target and I was going to cover the right side target, rifle to pistol. Well, his gun goes down. Okay. Well, now both targets are mine, right? So you might see in that footage, I could hear him not shooting, and about halfway down the lane, from 25 yards, from 50 yards to 25 yards, right about 25, I look over my shoulder and see he's taking a knee with his rifle and he's working on it. All right, these are my targets now. Same, you know, the very next time, we both walk out from 50, closing from 50 to 0, and both rifles run fine. I draw my sidearm after we spend the rifle mags, and that damn Murphy had depressed the magazine release on my pistol. So as soon as I draw the gun, the pistol mag just goes flying. Yeah, it's a super operator. You have to train and train and train in order to be able to nail that one. So, look, it's gonna happen. Stuff is gonna happen. So, you need to just go train with your gear, okay? Second lesson learned. You have too much stuff. And by you, I mean all of us. If you just go talk to anybody who's ever deployed to anywhere other than Kuwait. Kuwait's not a deployment. But anybody who's been involved in the global war on terror, the GWOT, just ask them. I mean, honestly, just ask them. And a brief aside to the brief aside. Veterans enjoy talking about their service, okay? Don't be afraid of veterans. Just go talk to them. Hey, man, I got a question. And there's a lot of posturing and ego with that. You don't want people to think you're not cool if you haven't served, and then you're like, that guy who has served, I think he's cool, but blah, blah, blah. I want to know what it's like, but I don't want to trigger his PTSD. Just go ask him. Talk to people. We are all people. We have far more in common than we don't. Go talk to them. Okay? Go talk to them and ask them how much gear they were issued versus how much gear they carry. I will pretty much bet there's a huge discrepancy between what they were issued and what they carried. Now, depending on the mission, and what their unit requirements are, between mission requirements and unit requirements, everybody's going to have a slightly different loadout. But I guarantee you they were not carrying everything they were issued. Because if they were, they'd walk about 3/4 of a mile and fall face down onto the ground and die. Because it's too much weight. It's too much weight. I am already, after yesterday, rethinking everything when it comes to long range bugging out. Again. Why? Because I practice, y'all. I practice what I preach. Okay? You're gonna die, rabbit. Oh, good job. Okay. Sorry. Suicidal bunny. I spent 3.5 hours yesterday switching back and forth. Well, not back and forth, but I started the day in my plate carrier and finished the day in my chest rig. And let me tell you, that chest rig, that 12-pound chest rig is the bomb compared to that 40-pound plate carrier. This is a fact. But even after a couple hours in that chest rig, of not just standing and shooting, not just looking at myself in the mirror and taking cool pictures, not, hanging out in my house with it, but actually going out and using it. Too much weight. The end. Too much weight. Factor in a 200-mile walk. It's really got me rethinking everything. I really, really, really think I'm going with pre-positioned caches now. And rather than 3, I'm going to do 6. But I'm going to do each one good for 5 days. Plus what I'd have on my back, which would be another 5 days. So it'd be 35 days to go 200 miles. Which would hopefully take about 20 days. So that gives me 75% more cushion than I need should something happen. And it would greatly decrease my pack weight, which will be a good thing because can I carry the pack with what it weighs right now? Yes. Is it going to be optimal? No. The firepower versus mobility equation is a hard thing to find a sweet spot on. Which brings me to this. Yes, my load right now, my loadout weighs too much. Is it doable? Yeah. Comfortably? Nah. Right on the edge of comfortable, honestly. Right on the edge of comfortable. I'm looking at about a 65-pound loadout. I can do it. Nah, I'm not feeling great about doing it, though. Truth darts, man. Honesty. We need to be more honest with each other and be more logical when we think about this stuff. Not just, bro, I operate so hard from my mom's basement to the fridge and back. Like, that's cool. If you have to bug out to your buddy's house to go play Call of Duty, none of this matters, right? But firepower versus mobility, here's the flip side of this argument. The firepower. It does not take long to expend a 30-round magazine in a rifle. The end. And I know, believe me, I know. I had a buddy who was deployed with Marines, designated marksman. He carried, he was back and forth to Afghanistan. I think he's done 4 tours in Trashkanistan by now. And, he's got his DMR rifle. And he carried three 20-round mags and 1 mag in the gun. So 4 20-round mags, 80 rounds, 77 grains or 75 grains, some such thing. And he's like, T, I'm like, dude, that's your loadout? He goes, number one, my rifle takes the same mags as everybody else on my team. Roger that. That's a really, really important point. So if he needs more ammo, somebody can chuck him a mag. Number two, he says, I've never gone through my first magazine, and I've got 3 more. I said, yeah, you are taking your time. He has a team of guys. I mean, I can't get into mission specifics for this guy, right? He's an awesome guy. He's been some places and done some things, right? But he has a team of guys, quantity unknown, we'll just put it that way. A team of guys that can provide cover fire for him, suppressive fire, can buy him time to get into position and take his time to make a shot, right? The role that he fills is not going to require more than the 80 rounds that he's carrying. But I tell you this, I can go through 80 rounds in 2 minutes. Easy. If I dump 1 rifle mag and 1 pistol mag just in a drill, that's 45 rounds in a minute. In 1 minute. There is no resupply, y'all. That's the thing. There's no resupply. Nobody is coming down the trail behind you to make sure you have all the food, all the water, all the ammo that you need to fluff your pillow, put a mint on it, and sweep all the snakes and spiders out of your bivy sack. And that's not happening. So I'm going to stay with the 6 mags on the chest rig. Plus 1 in the gun is 7. But just yesterday, I added 4 more 30-round boxes of 62 grain IMI SS-109 penetrators to the ruck, just to have 4 more mags worth of ammo to reload if I need it, which gives me effectively 330 rounds of rifle ammo. Not that I want to get into a firefight with anybody, but if they decide that they're going to get into a firefight with me, I need to be able to respond. And he with the most toys wins. That includes magazines. Lastly is water. I drank a 1.5 gallons of water yesterday. Just moving around. I mean, throughout the day, not just during drills, but the day total, I drank a 1.5 gallons of water. Okay, so that's 5.5 liters, almost 6 liters of water. you might want to think about that. If your water plan for your bug out is, 2 1-liter bottles, that means you're stopping 3 times a day to get water. If there's 3 times a day worth of water to get. If there's not, then what do you do? So you should have water carrying capacity that is at least equal to your max capacity for your body, if not a 50% or 100% cushion. Water's heavy too. So what do you do? Somebody told me I needed an axe. I can't remember who it was. This is why I don't carry an axe. It's why I carry the RTAC 2, because an axe is going to weigh 3.5 pounds. The RTAC weighs 1.5 pounds. And frankly, I grew up cutting timber in upstate New York, and if I wanted to build a log cabin, an axe would be great. If I wanted to sit around and split perfect little splits of firewood that were identical to each other, that'd be great. I don't. I want to get from where I am to where my family is with as much speed and tenacity as possible. So the other thing is, axes introduce an injury risk into your system. A lot of people are incompetent with axes, or at the very best, only slightly competent with axes. And I say this as somebody who owns several axes and can take trees down, sizable trees down with axes. I have been trained with axes. Have you? If you have an axe on your pack and you've not been trained with it, why are you carrying it? Do you carry a gun on your hip without the appropriate training to deploy that weapon? Things to think about, y'all. We had a blast yesterday. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's 6:43. I need to go inside and do boss stuff. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.